Yeah, girl, we are live in all of the socials. Yay! All right, girl. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Welcome to part one of Heal Your Gut. I just got chills. I just got I just got chills because Aida, I can't wait to see how many lives are going to be changed as a result of this information, because what we know is knowledge is power, right? It is power. So really quick before we get into all of the goodness, oh my, just so excited. Please drop a flame in the comments if you are catching us live. Drop a purple heart if you're catching the replay. Smash that heart button if you are so fired up and excited to learn. Before we go any further, friends, make sure you have a beverage and your notes. Now, I don't know if you read my emails or getting my emails, but I said this was going to be a mini course, a free mini course. It's 3 parts, all right? Grab something to take notes on, or maybe if you're driving, don't do that, but come back and rewind and press play and start us all over again, because Aida is about, wait, where are we going? This way. Aida right here is about to give you some knowledge that is going to change your life, and I am confident you're going to tell all your friends about it, and you're going to tag them, and you're going to want them to hop on, because this is actually, it's revolutionized my mindset when it comes to the approach to wellness. Because what I know, and what Aida of course knows, and probably some of you know, is that gut health isn't necessarily something that you can feel, right? It's not like taking an energy pill and you're like, oh yeah, that works. So sometimes, I try to teach a little bit on the importance of gut health when I'm talking with clients and customers about products they might want to take, and try to help them understand the importance of it. But some people just don't realize. But I've noticed, and drop in the comments if you've noticed, just put the word notice in the comments. If you've seen the word gut health, if you've seen, gut health, it's not just a trend or just a fad. Like, I think it's going to change our country if people really grab a hold of the importance of gut health, because it affects your brain, right? It affects your mood. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I am fired up. So really quick, I'm Jana Brown. I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach. I have been for many years. I'm sure you know that, but if you don't, now you do. And this is Aida Steinbacher. How do I say your last name, babe? You do it first.
Steinbacher.
Steinbacher. I didn't say Bacher. Steinbacher. And this woman here, like, beyond just the knowledge that she has, she's world traveled. In fact, her Instagram, oh my God, it is the most beautiful Instagram I've ever seen in my life, because she's all over the world. She's cultured. She speaks multiple languages, but she's a nerd, y'all. And you need to have a nerd like her in your life. Right? And so anyway, I'm just super excited to have you, girlfriend. So just open up with, like, how did this all happen for you? Tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get started in health and fitness and all the things that you're a part of now?
So I've always been interested in health and wellness and, optimizing your health and your knowledge so that you can do preventative care before you do the damage control after. So that's always been an interest for me. A couple of my really, really close friends had come down with autoimmune diseases. Some had come down with cancer. And one of them actually went to the Mayo Clinic and was given this handbook of all the foods to avoid and how to eat. And so we went through the aisles at Whole Foods, and I said, I want to join you on this journey because I want to avoid this. Like, why don't we know this stuff before we're diagnosed? And so that was about 8 years ago, this journey that I went on. So I went on the same diet that she went on for 2 years. I became a vegan. And, but, as she continued, I kind of became a vegan junkie. So I was eating vegan, but I was eating vegan, like, processed food, which is not the way to do it. My son is homeschooled. So while he was doing homeschool, I really took an interest in the sciences and just really, became aware of what it means to take care of your body and heal before, or, do the things that you can do on your end before a diagnosis. So that began my fire for learning about the gut, learning about the microbiome. And so a couple of years ago, one of the company that we work for came out with microorganism food for your gut, which it was the first of its kind. And it was mind blowing. Like, if you guys have the science that goes into the microbiome and gut health is really flourishing now, especially because we experienced a couple of years of like a global pandemic. So what it means to have your immune be strong, and all of the sciences, just really vamped, and they've taken interest. And so what we've discovered and what the research is showing is that the fact is everything that's alive on planet Earth either has a microbiome or is a microbiome. So we have trillions and hundreds of thousands of bacteria in our gut, viruses, and they all work together. And they've even discovered recently that tumors have been found to have their own microbiome. So that's how diverse and that's how deep this whole microbiome thing is as you zoom in. So the more diverse your microbiome, that is different varieties and how strongly they are represented inside of your gut, the healthier you are. So making sure that you have a vast variety of foods, plant-based, obviously, making sure that they are supporting each other and not canceling each other out is absolutely important. So we can really have a say in how healthy we are mentally, emotionally. And what they're discovering too is that the gut-brain connection and the gut hormone connection is very strong as well. What that means is your gut and your brain, they communicate back and forth. Just to illustrate, for example, let me amuse you for a minute, or play along with me for a second.
Sure.
Close your eyes for a minute.
Okay.
We're going to walk over to your fridge and we're going to grab a lemon. We've got the lemon. We put it to your nose. You can smell that citrus, potent smell that lemons have. You're going to rub it on your counter. You already have a knife there to cut it. You're going to rub it on the counter so that all those juices get released. And you're going to take your knife and slice through it. And you can almost see the spritz of citrus coming out of that lemon. Now you take a sliver of that lemon and you put it in your mouth. Can you taste it? If you're like me, there are saliva glands that are being secreted in your mouth, ready to digest that lemon. Now, there's no lemon here. We just did that with our brains. So if that doesn't tell you how powerful your mind is, your mind, just imagining that lemon was preparing to digest a slice of lemon in your mouth. The secretion of saliva, the enzymes, all of the things, they respond. So there it shows you what you think about, what you are discussing, what you feed your brain has a direct correlation with the reaction in your gut. Also, you may see it in kids often. They, when they're nervous, when they're scared, they say, "Mommy, my tummy hurts. I've got a stomach ache. I have to go to the bathroom." They're not making that stuff up. Listen to your gut. That statement that's ancient years old, which says, "Trust your gut." Trust your gut. We are more microbiome than we are human, than we are flesh and and blood. So that is, I don't know what you think of that, but I'd love to know.
Well, I guess it just goes to show that we are what's in our, we are whatever our gut health is,
Oh, yeah.
Is what it sounds like. There's just so much going on in there. It's more, I guess we just kind of think of our brain being the only brain we have, but we really have two brains is what it sounds like you're telling me here.
Oh, there's many. So there's the gut brain axis. There's also the ovary and brain axis. So our hormones are connected to our gut. Our brain is connected to the gut, and so many other things that they're finding out, because they call it the second brain. They literally call it the second brain because of this. Now, there are many things that can disrupt the balance of your ecosystem in your gut. And you can think of it as the rainforest. Say, for example, they took out the snakes in a rainforest. Snakes are there for a reason. They, they keep the balance. They eat the mice, they eat the rats, they eat other things. And so if you remove the snakes from an ecosystem, and nothing else can really substitute for them, you've just now disrupted the balance of the ecosystem. And so that whole thing will suffer. So the same with our gut. So we can either encourage our microbiome to thrive, or we can eliminate certain things that are key and actually cause ourselves damage. We can, change genes, turn on genes that could be fatal. So there are a few things that are absolutely fatal to our microbiome, and that includes stress, that includes alcohol. Stress actually will kill your microbiome, which I found is incredible, because you wouldn't think that, listening to really like angry music and having road rage and, fighting with everyone in your family would actually cause you to damage your own body. That just blows my mind, because we often think of stress as external, and we don't often think of the damage that we do to ourselves. So it's very, very important that when it comes to our brain, how we relax, how much time we spend listening to negative talk, whether it be ourselves or externally, that is absolutely fatal or lethal to ourselves.
Wow. That just reminded me of so many things. Number one, I thought of the bee movie. Do you remember the bee movie when they removed the bees, or the honey was gone or whatever, to just destroy the entire world? Like, so that's essentially kind of what you're saying. And the snake allergy is good. It just made me think like, oh my gosh, now I want to be even more protective of my gut, where before I never gave it another thought. Number two, I remember when after my husband passed away, I was still eating. In fact, I was eating a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have been eating, but I lost weight. Like the stress and the anxiety, like ate my body away. My heartbeat became irregular. I had to wear a heart rate monitor. Oh, wow. So everything that you're saying, I mean, it just totally is like, whoa. I mean, that makes so much sense, but I don't think we correlate, we just don't correlate them. You know what I mean? I love that you mentioned, alcohol and stress, because what happens in today's world is, at least is what we're programmed to do, thanks to our wonderful, anyway, I'm not going to go there, but that's what we're programmed to do. Stress, get a drink. Stress, drink. Like, that's another topic. But anywho, let me ask you, and y'all, what we're going to do before we finish, I definitely want Aida, and I'm pretty sure she already has this planned out, but we're going to give you some practical things that you can do to improve your gut health, and then things and natural things that you can do, grab at the grocery store. And then we'll talk about some supplements you can incorporate, and also things that you can do beyond just stress and alcohol that are damaging. Let's kind of roll with that. Aside from stress and alcohol, what else can damage our microbiome?
Sugar can definitely do that. Fried foods, we may reach for the chips that are, comfort foods, but that actually will kill your microbiome. It will damage. And what happens is, if you're eating junk food and you're eating things that are hard to break down, whatever you're feeding your microbiome, that's what you're going to get more of. So you've got bacteria that are created to, just like the snakes in the ecosystem that, get the rats, or the overpopulation of other things. Your microbiome, when you have, if you're eating the kind of foods that are not going to benefit your body, you're just going to make more of the bacteria that are going to break that down. So if you eat a more diverse food, kind of like the Mediterranean diet, where you've got lots of fruits and vegetables and fiber, then what you're doing is you're increasing the number of microorganisms that are going to break that kind of food down. So if you notice, a lot of people that eat junk food, or that are eating food that's not that is processed, when they eat good food and healthy food, they kind of feel sick because their body's not used to digesting healthy food. So there's that, period of time where you have to detox and change the way that you're eating so that you can build over time stacking habits to improve your overall gut health. And one of the most incredible ways and easy ways to do that is actually by adding fiber and adding pre, pro, and postbiotics. Like, if there's anything that you do for yourself today, is absolutely include fiber in your diet, and not just any fiber, because you can go to Walgreens or anywhere and get a slew of fibers on the counters, but not all fiber is created equal. You need psyllium husk in that fiber, so that you have, psyllium husk has probiotics in it, and it actually helps the flora in your gut, the good bacteria that will multiply and actually help your immune system. And I guess we can go into that in one of the series where your immune system can be covered. But 70% of your immune system is in your gut, lives in your gut. So what you're doing with fiber is you're actually feeding the good bacteria and giving them the strength. And now the pre, pro, and postbiotic, the way that they work is that they have a special micro delivery system, which they're encased, they're coated so that the delivery, once you put it into your mouth, and your microbiome, actually, I don't know if I covered this already, but your microbiome begins from your mouth and ends at the very end of your colon. So all of that is considered your microbiome. And you are born with when you're in utero, you don't have a microbiome. You have nothing in you yet. But what happens is, during the birth canal, or if you're a C-section, as you're coming out, you ingest you're exposed to mom's bacteria. So all of that then starts just that, as unique as your fingerprint is as unique as our individual microbiomes are. So going back to the trebiotics, you've got the pre, pro, and postbiotic, which will balance out. So you've got one feeding the other, and the delivery system, it goes into your mouth and it doesn't get dissolved or washed out through fecal matter until it gets to your digestive tract. And then the acids in your digestive, in your intestines, breaks down the trebiotics. And at that point, it's already feeding all of the microorganisms. So nothing is wasted. And you're getting the benefits of the pre, pro, and postbiotic. So how those two work together is that the fiber will actually go into your stomach, and it will expand, and it will allow all the gunk, old poop. Sorry about poopy. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to mind this conversation, but we're talking microbiome. So it will allow the gunk to stick from your intestines onto the fiber. And then as you drink water, you flush it out of your system. And that will release excess hormones. It will release the toxins. It will release the bad bacteria in your gut. And it will allow the flourishing of your good bacteria that will help you to think clearer, to sleep better, to fight off diseases that could be trying to take over your cells. And so it's fascinating. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, it truly is. If you're getting value from this, please smash that heart button, put the word value in the comments. And also, I want to know, what is it that what tidbit that Aida has shared that has already just been like, boom? Like, what has been your, like, oh my gosh, that was like something I had no idea. Drop that in the comments. And, and it's not to say that you can't have these certain things. And I also want to make it clear, and I think this goes without saying, is that you can't just swallow the trebiotics and eat like junk and expect everything. Like, no, you know what I mean? You want to make sure, like Aida has said this word numerous times, that word balance. You know what I mean? But let's kind of pivot briefly. Thank you so much for that, Aida. But let's talk about the direct connection with the brain, and mental health in particular. Serotonin, your mood.
Absolutely. So some of the hormones that are affected by your gut are, there's cortisol, there is insulin. And so when you are feeding your gut and it's healthy, what you're going to find is that you're sleeping better. The fact, if you know anyone who's been really constipated, after they go to the bathroom and they have a really good bowel movement, they have a really good sense of well-being. And that sense of well-being will also allow you to sleep better. So when you're sleeping better, your mood is better.
For sure.
Your decision making is better. The fact that you go into REM allows your memory to store your files from the day where they ought to be. Your reaction to stress is very different. Cortisol levels are then affected because cortisol is the fight or flight hormone that is, if you have a lot of stress, you'll start to have a lot of fat around the midsection, which we're seeing in a lot of menopausal women. And that hormone is it can be affected by taking care of your gut, by making sure that you have enough fiber, that you're going to the bathroom and you're releasing those excess toxins. Something that we, that's really interesting now too, is that what is the excess hormones that you have that cause stress, that cause a lack of sleep, need to be released. So if you're not going to the bathroom and you're not regular, those excess hormones are like a pressure cooker in your body, in your mind. And so you're getting foggy experiences, you're forgetting words, you know what to say, but you just can't get it out of your mouth. You experience the kind of stress that a lot of hormonal women go through, and sometimes it's happening younger and younger these days. So your diet will have a direct impact on how sharp you are, how well you're responding to stress, and how calmly you respond to environmental stressors as well.
Wow, that's so good. And I mean, it's let's be real. We live in a world today where it's absolutely impossible to avoid stress, right? So it's very important to have protocols in place. We talk so much about self-care, like it is ridiculous. In fact, I don't know if you're a part of our free community. It is an amazing community of just, there's so much value. It's called the Collagen Experience. Beyond just the collagen, but there are so many tips and tricks and things that we do and value that we bring to help you find ways to help, combat stress. We do different little mini challenges and things like that to help you get on track. If you're not in that group and you want to be, just add me in the comments and we'll get you in there. But to your point about well, I actually kind of want to back up a little bit. You were talking about when people start feeling sick, when they make the dietary changes and they start incorporating those things, like it makes so much sense, because we've had people, and maybe you've experienced this, where we have a cleanse, right? And we do sugar detoxes and we do these little challenges and we have these products that will help eliminate toxins. And I'll tell people, like, you may or may not get little like queasy, like flu-like symptoms, and like, wow, thank you. Like, now I know why.
Yes, absolutely.
And so sometimes whatever you feel, if it feels negative, it's actually really a positive based on what you're saying. But when it comes to eliminating waste, Aida, I'm curious, while we're on the topic, how many times a day should a healthy person be going?
So that is, it all depends on how much they're eating and,
right,
how well they've trained their gut to go. So you should be going as much as you're eating. You know what I mean? Like a healthy, how often do babies go, right? So if you've got a system that's not gunked up, you eat after a few hours, you have a bowel movement. If you're going once a day, I think that's pretty good. Again, that is something, if you're having issues with going, there's so many things that you can take over the counter as well, but some of those can be very harsh. You want something that's going to be natural enough and that's not going to have you doubling over or worrying about where the nearest bathroom is. That is really, if you're having a colonoscopy, that's different, right? But the best way is to really have it be as natural, and those habit stacking things that you do, also your stress also affects. I know for myself, whenever I travel and I'm in a different place, my microbiome is like, we don't know where we are. Thailand was like the worst experience for me in terms of going regularly, because the bathroom situation was very different from what I was used to. So it all depends if you're not having travel, if you're not. So it's at least once a day is very important, minimum.
Yeah, minimum for sure. Yeah, and as someone just commented, they go at least 3 times. Hey, same here, and I get excited when I gotta go. And I always say, if it's coming out, it's coming off.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and so really quickly, what are some foods? I know we talked about fiber. We like for you to get what you need naturally, but we do have to supplement at times. And I know that we as women, and it maybe the numbers have changed over the years, I don't know, but last I checked, we need at least 25 grams of fiber. Okay. Exactly. I'm still right. All right.
You are.
Go ahead. Spin off on that.
Yes, and more for men, obviously.
Okay. So like 40?
Yes. So it's very important, because even then we're under. We never get enough fiber. So, and that's the thing. If there was a pill that we could take to just, all of a sudden have a perfect microbiome, that would be amazing, but it doesn't exist. In fact, some cancers are being treated with fecal transplants to diversify. Yeah, you can actually have someone with a really good diverse microbiome, and they'll take their poop and put it in you to try and fight certain cancers. So the more diverse you can get your microbiome, the better for you. So with regard to food and what you can have, you can try and eat as well as you can, but sometimes we fall short, and also our food is not as nutritionally viable, dense as it used to be. So I really encourage supplementation, because, for example, we need omega-3s. But how much fish can you and I eat to get the number of omega in our system to cover that need on a daily basis, as opposed to popping our 2 omega supplements and be like, done with it. I got my omegas for the day. It goes the same way with your phyto reds, your phyto greens, your phyto golds, fermented foods. If you can find a bioceutical, very well sourced greens. If you're not getting enough greens, we live a very busy life. It's always on the go. So we cheat ourselves of the nutritional things that we need. So if you can find something that works synergistically together, which means it supports your other supplements instead of canceling them out, that is ideal. So I take these phyto greens that I put in my smoothie or whatever, and it covers my veggies. I take my omegas. We have Optipack vitamins that have been absolutely incredible. And adaptogens, adaptogens are amazing as well. So those things, it's hard. I mean, God bless anybody who is able to put that all in their diet, do the groceries, do the shopping, actually cook the food. I applaud you. But for those of us that live really busy lives, we need a little help. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have all that time to eat, but you know what? What I love about those greens, and by the way, really quick, if you are not familiar with our products and you would like a coupon code, just please put the word coupon in the comments, because she's mentioned several that we use and love. The Trebiotic, she mentioned the omegas, the Optipack, and the phytos. And really, y'all, this is your groceries. You know what I mean? This is food. But what we have done, what the company has done, is it's harnessed nature and put all of the goodness from our amazing planet into a consumable form that is active and bioavailable. Oh my God, couldn't we go on and on about that? We would be here all night, right?
Yes.
We would be here all night. But some fibrous foods, okay? Let's just be real. We're not going to live on green powder. Oh, and then number 2, y'all, keep in mind that once your food hits that microwave, frying pan, whatever, go ahead and finish my sentence, girlfriend.
Oh yeah, it's dead. It's killing the enzymes that are really important to keep your microbiome flourishing.
Yep. Yep. So we supplement. And so anyone who's like, oh, I get everything I need from my food, I'm like, okay, what food are you, what are you eating? You know what I mean? Because I already know, so it's just important to just really understand that, we're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. I don't want anyone to be fearful now that they can't have chips and queso at their favorite Mexican restaurant or have a margarita every now and then. It's not about perfection. It's just about balance. It's about awareness. It's about knowledge. And then it's about finding the missing links. What is it that you need that perhaps supplementation or a change in nutrition or a change in your lifestyle can provide? And if any of my clients are on here, vouch for me and say, yes, she does. How much do I preach about sleep? And stress management, like, oh my God. And not just that, but even just mindset, right? Absolutely. And maybe we can close on, just some takeaways and whatnot, but I always say this, okay? I want y'all to think about that 80-year-old, 90-year-old version of yourself that you're trying to build. What kind of quality of life do you want to have at that age? Because you're building her today. The choice, and it's not the choices that you make today, but it's the accumulative choices. Okay, it's over time. And just like Aida stated in the very beginning of this broadcast, she said it's about preventative versus being reactive. You don't want to wait until your gut is all messed up. You know what I mean? But when and you kind of touched on the pandemic, I'm pretty sure they're planning another one. Oops, did I say that? Maybe, I don't know, whatever. But you got to make sure your immune system is on point. All right. And like Aida said, 70% in your gut. We just got to do better, y'all. And with that said, Aida, I'm going to announce our next challenge. I saw we had some challengers in the comments that were excited about our challenges. We're going to announce our next challenge and talk about some things that are going on. But really quick, what are some final takeaways that you have? And then if there are any questions in the comments, we'll come back and try to answer those after the live. But what are some final takeaways? What's on your heart that you want to leave people with?
The last 2 years or the last 2.5 years, we spent a very sterile environment. We were hand sanitizing, killing good bacteria, bad bacteria. We were just like, and now we are mixing and we're so that's a good thing. We're building our immune systems. But like we mentioned before, it's about balance. It's about being able to enjoy life, eat the things that you enjoy, but having a good microbiome that you regularly on the regular are supporting, so that if your body is under attack, if your body is going through certain things that are causing it to fight for itself, that you've also equipped it. So we're being balanced, we're enjoying life, but also you have the support. It would be one thing if, and just to mention this, when you go to your doctor, oftentimes what they're saying is, we don't have answers. We're going to do more tests. It seems like an autoimmune thing. What that means is every time you hear autoimmune, think of the gut. Think of going back to square one and think, okay, what am I eating? What am I doing to support my gut health? If someone is rubbing me the wrong way, am I putting myself in that situation, or do I need to evaluate? Do I need to forgive? Do I need to cut down on my alcohol intake to preserve my microbiome? We mentioned how many trillions of gut bacteria make up our human body. So think about what is healthy for you. Going to bed on time, or making sure that you're giving yourself enough hours of sleep. We skimp ourselves on that, making sure that you're walking. You don't have to do extreme sports. You just make sure that you're walking and you're drinking your water. And we'll touch upon other things that are really, really exciting in the next few series that are coming along. And I'll let Genevieve Brown update you on those.
Yes, thank you so much, girlfriend. Yes, and don't forget, y'all, this is only part one. We have two more broadcasts to bring you, and I couldn't be more excited about what is coming. Let's pick your brain a little bit more. I'm super excited. So if you got value from this, again, please smash that heart button, put value in the comments, tag some friends that you know that would really, really love this and find it helpful. And go over to Aida's Instagram, Facebook, give her a follow, hop in her inbox, tell her thank you. This is just something that she did out of the kindness of her heart. So we're so grateful the value that you brought. And now we're just going to be so much aware, of what we're putting in our body. And I already know, I'm just like, okay, there are some things that I really need to cut back on. Yes, I'm vegan-ish. And I have, those kind of dirty vegan tendencies where, I mean, hey, let's be real, French fries and popcorn are vegan, okay? But they're not friendly to your gut. But here's what's next. Speaking of awareness and focusing on what we're eating in our gut microbiome, on April 10th, which is going to be Monday, we are starting a 5-day food log challenge. Okay. If you eat it, you have to write it down. All right. So please just put the word food in the comments. If you are not in our Collagen Experience Facebook group where all of these fun challenges happen, please put the word food. Make sure we can get you in there, invite some friends. Where we do give prizes throughout the 5 days. There's no cost to this. We just love to build community, build relationships, add value, and then, of course, offer the solutions like our amazing supplements as a way to fill in some gaps that you're missing in your nutrition that will help you optimize your lifestyle so that you can age like fine wine. Well, maybe not wine because that's not good for your gut, but so when you pass away and they're getting your body ready for the grave, they're gonna be like, dang, she took care of herself. But most importantly, it is about being the best version of yourself, because as women, we wear a lot of hats and a lot of people rely on us, right? And when we are good, everybody else is good. Okay. So we're gonna love ourselves and then we're gonna love each other along the way. But thank you so much, Aida. Smash the heart button if you had a good time with us tonight, and put the word yes if you will be back with us tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and again on Friday, same time, same place. I love you guys. Thank you, Aida.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.